7 real places that scientists can't explain. 1. Fairy Circles, Namibia. The Fairy Circles is a field of grass in the Namib Desert in the western parts of South Africa, frequently interrupted by circular barren patches where nothing will grow. The millions of patches are 2 to 15 meters in diameter and are perfectly spaced apart as if carved by hand. They are often encircled by a ring of stimulated growth of grass. In 2013, a scientist claimed to have definitively settled the mystery when he concluded that the circles were created by termites. Nevertheless, scientists have come up with dozens of other theories to try to explain what's going on. Other attempted explanations have ranged from radiation to aliens to fungus to noxious gas, and every theory so far has been shot down. One of the latest theories is that the distinct vegetation patterns are because the plants organize themselves to maximize across scarce resources. 2. The Devil's Kettle, Minnesota. The Devil's Kettle is an unusual waterfall located on the Brule River at the Judge C.R. Magny State Park in Minnesota. At some point along the river, the flow splits along a rock outcrop. Half of it continues flowing onto Lake Superior, and the other half falls down a hole to nowhere. Basically, it disappears. The widely accepted theory is that it flows through a system of underground caves until it pops out again somewhere into the river, because it has to wind up somewhere. Researchers have poured dye into the kettle and then watched the lake to see which part of it would turn colored, but that didn't work out either. So, scientists have never figured out the mystery conclusively. 3. Skeleton Lake, India. The Rupkund Lake is a high-altitude glacial lake in Uttarakhand, India. This lake that lies at an elevation of 16,470 feet is home to a surreal mystery. It is widely known for the hundreds of ancient human skeletons found at the edge of the lake. The lake is almost always under the snow sheet, but when the snow melts, it reveals almost 600-odd skeletons under it. Some locals believe that this is because of the curse to the fury of a local deity. Researchers generally theorize that they are the skeletons of a group of people who succumbed to a hailstorm in the 9th century. But scientists have not been able to tell for sure. 4. The Taos Hum, New Mexico. Residents of the town of Taos in New Mexico have reported a continuous and ceaseless weird humming noise that drives all the residents berserk. Since the 1990s, residents of Taos can hear a constant noise that permeates the entire town and baffles them. Different people have described it as a whir, hum, or buzz. One resident even reported that its range was about 30 miles. Investigators have been attempting to locate the source of the maddening sound for decades, with no success. Possible explanations include mechanical devices, tinnitus, jet stream, or even wild animals, but there's no proof of anything so far. 5. The Hessdalen Lights, Norway. The Hessdalen Lights have been observed in a 12-kilometer-long stretch of the Hessdalen Valley in rural central Norway. These lights come from an unknown origin, appearing around both days and nights. These bright white, yellow, or red lights sometimes move with immense velocity as well as at a noticeably slower pace. They may last for a few seconds and sometimes for over an hour. Night after night, strange lights appear in the sky, dance around in patterns, and even flash in different colors. One scary theory is that the valley could be highly radioactive. Some scientists think that the valley might actually be one enormous battery, charged by the river at its base, which contains sulfuric acid. Or, it could be aliens. Nobody is quite sure. 6. Chocolate Hills, Philippines. This geological oddity located in the Bohol province in the Philippines is a mystery to the locals, visitors, and researchers alike. The Chocolate Hills is a site of rounded hills that have lush vegetation during spring. The hills turn chocolate brown in color during the dry season, which accounts for their name. But less evident is how they came to be, and how they managed to develop so symmetrically. Local theories include fights between giants and the tears of a monster. Scientists suggest that they were formed due to eroding limestone deposits from a time when streams and rivers were above sea level. But the core mystery of their shape, size, and appearance still remains unsolved. 7. Giant's Causeway. This massive zigzag of 40,000 basalt columns in Northern Ireland is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. According to the local legend, the Giant's Causeway was built by the Irish giant, Finn McCool, as a crossing to confront another giant, his Scottish rival. Scientists have an alternative explanation. They believe that the mysterious site is the result of an undersea volcanic eruption that occurred 60 million years ago. The eruption apparently pushed lava up through the cold coastal waters, which cooled it and, with the erosion of thousands of years, eventually shaped them into these irregular steps. Giant or no giant, this amazing site is truly something to marvel at.